Hey everybody, Dieter Bone here for WM Experts, and we're doing yet another first look video. It's been a while since we've done this, so it's kind of exciting. We are looking at the Samsung Ace available on the Sprint network. Here it is. We'll pull it out of the box. You can see I've already played with it a little bit. That's okay. What's inside the box? We've got manuals and plastic and a CD. And what else? Hey, look at that. International adapters, because it is an international phone. It does both CDMA and GSM. And we've got a plug, and look at that. That is identical to the Blackjack 2 connector. So Samsung is at least standardizing on an adapter, just not one that I like. And hey, look at that. A pair of stereo hybrid headphones that plugs into the wacky adapter. Very nice. All right, well, let's zoom in here and take a look at the hardware of the Samsung Ace. As you can see, it's very Blackjack-esque. It's a relatively tall phone. It's got a full QWERTY keyboard on the front, relatively thin. It's got a little hump on the back next to the 1.3 megapixel camera. There's your back button, your jog wheel, and a little slot for the micro SD card. And around on the other, we got on the top, we got the quick list button. And then over here on the left, you've got your volume button, and you also have got your plug for the wacky power and sync and headphone connector. And we'll also pop off the battery door here. There it is. It's a SIM card. It actually comes from Sprint. We'll talk about that in a bit. And it also uses a relatively small battery, same battery as the original Blackjack, which I believe is only 1200 milliamps. Now, the other thing that's really nice about the Ace is they totally improved the mainboard buttons. There's a nice, you can see the send and end stick out, the 5-way sticks out, and there's a little bit of a bezel, a little bit of a feeling between the soft keys in the back and the home button. And the keyboard itself is also really nice. It's much, much better than the original Blackjack, much better than even the Blackjack 2. You know, it's very clacky. You can kind of hear it there, hitting the buttons here, and then the ridges are kind of, I don't know, sharp on it, but that's all right. It seems spaced very well, and I can type on it with relative ease, so I'm pretty happy about that. Let's take a look at the software that's built into it. You can see there's that sort of a standard home screen, shows SMS, email, and recent applications. Going into the actual programs list in the start menu, we see we've got under organizer, got some custom Samsung apps, including Samsung's alarm clock app, which I am naturally fond of. Sorry about the beeps there. Under internet, we also see, hey, look at that. It's Samsung's RSS reader. Nice to see that there. And we've also got more of the Samsung cute little apps, stopwatch, tip calculator, all that stuff. You can grab on demand from Sprint. Here's a weird application, international usage. It's just a bookmark that is a file that explains what you need to do for international usage, which is basically turn it on with Sprint. This phone is not unlocked. I put my AT&T card in it. It did not work. So unless you can convince Sprint to unlock it for you, you're going to have to pay Sprint's international roaming fees, which is a hassle. You saw there I could go into service mode and switch between GSM and CDMA. It does require a reboot. They can't both be on at the same time, but at least they're there. And then rounding it out there, as I'm talking too long, Internet Connect is built in, thank God. Also, Windows Live Search is on there too, which is pretty neat. All right, doing some comparisons now. As you can see, the design cues are very much Blackjack-esque, but the Ace is a bit taller, and it is about the same width. Batteries are about the same, camera's about the same, everything there about the same, but the buttons are so much better on the Ace, both on the main board and on the keyboard, and also on keyboard feel. They really did a good job with the keyboard on this sucker. I even like the keyboard better than the Blackjack 2's keyboard. The Ace is a bit thinner, but you know, overall the Blackjack 2 is still a superior device just because it's got a higher resolution camera and GPS built in. And since we're talking Sprint, this is the Verizon Q9M, but Sprint has a similar device. This is basically the closest you're going to get to the Ace on Sprint. And differences? Well, you know, of course, the Ace is not nearly as wide as the Q9M. About the same thinness, not too much difference there. A little bit taller. I like the keyboard on the Q9M much better though. And here's the Mogul, the sort of the standard Windows Mobile Sprint device. Mogul has a much bigger screen, of course, but they're the same resolution. And the Mogul is, of course, much thicker. There it is. Yeah, you can tell. But, you know, Mogul's got Wi-Fi. Mogul's got that big slide-out keyboard. They're totally different classes of devices, so it's not really fair to compare them too closely. So there it is. It's the Ace. If you are on Sprint but want international roaming options, it's your best option. If you don't need the international roaming, I'm going to say that I like the Q9M or Q9C, excuse me, a little bit better than the Ace. But otherwise, it's darn good.